So this is not a drill. This is not a joke. The title is absolutely true. 2 weeks ago, I got engaged and I need to tell you about it, otherwise I'm gonna explode. So I'm sure this is coming as a shock to you guys, which I'm very sorry about. I think that's just the product of me keeping my relationship very personal and private, that when big milestones like this happen, it kind of just like comes out of thin air. I googled like the most asked questions to engaged couples, and of course like lots of questions like, when are you having a baby, came up, but like lots of other questions that I feel like you guys would be interested to hear. So I'm just gonna answer some of the most asked questions, and yeah, I mean, how could I not share this major announcement with you guys? Even just keeping it a secret for like 2 weeks, I'm gonna pop, okay? I'm gonna explode. But okay, let's get into some engagement questions. So the first question is, how did he propose? Now this is a really fun story, and obviously it's very vivid in my mind because it just happened 2 weeks ago. So I'll give you guys the little play-by-play. And I've been asked a lot, were you surprised? And the answer is yes. I was very surprised. I've heard people be like, oh, I knew it was happening. I had this tingling feeling. And for me, I was slightly suspicious just because he was planning such a fun weekend. But that was really my only thought. I wasn't expecting anything, and when it happened, I was very shocked because that day in particular, I had completely forgot about that fleeting thought I had. But okay, so let me set the tone for you guys. So me and my fiance, which it sounds weird, everybody says this, but it's a really weird adjustment to go from saying boyfriend to fiance. Also, sorry if the lighting is changing a bunch. I'm filming with natural lighting today because I just wanted to feel like very comfortable and cozy for this video, but the sun taught me that it's gonna be crazy today. Him and I really enjoy hiking and rock climbing and those sort of things, and actually he is the person who got me into rock climbing, which if you've been watching for a while, you'll probably laugh because I used to mention rock climbing in every single video like 2 years ago, and that's when I was really starting and getting into it. But anyways, when we got there, we were at the top of a mountain, and if you guys have ever been to like a ski resort, there'll be like chalets on the middle of the mountain, if that makes sense. So we were at a restaurant on the mountain. If you've never been to one of these mountain restaurants, they probably sound very bougie and like luxurious, but it's a concept that I'm pretty used to, and it's more like relaxed foods. It's like you can get a grilled cheese. It's for people who have like hiked and now they want some food, or they're skiing and now they want food. But anyway, we had dinner at one of those restaurants, and by this time it's late. Am I telling this story well? Like, we had already had a kind of a day of excitement with having a picnic, just like some other things, but the exciting part really happens at this restaurant. We're at the restaurant, we eat dinner, I had mac and cheese, it was fabulous, and then we went outside and there was some telescopes set up, and one of them was pointed at Saturn, and I actually saw Saturn, which was so cool. It was this big, and it was awesome. But I'm a little bit exhausted, to be honest. Like, I'm ready to go to the hotel and watch some HGTV. But before we can leave, my man had a plan to top this fun day with a proposal, which I obviously didn't know about. So I'm on the top of the mountain and I turn around and it's dark, right? Like, I can hardly see, but I can see just enough to tell that he's on one knee and he is reciting sweet things to me. That rhymed. So yeah, that is my proposal story. That's how it happened. That's kind of the first question that I see asked a lot. So the next question that I've got a lot in real life is like, as soon as someone learns you're engaged, they want to see the ring, which I know it can be very exciting. Who doesn't love looking at like sparkly jewelry that symbolizes such a huge commitment? I get it. So I'm gonna show you guys the ring. When I got proposed to, I actually didn't clearly see the ring because it was so dark out, but then after, he shone a flashlight on it and he had actually pushed it into a geode that we had broken, which if you don't know what a geode is, it's like basically it looks like a rock and then you break it open and it's full of crystals, and it's one that we had actually bought together in the mountains. So he had pushed the ring in it. So the ring sitting in the geode was so sparkly and I was whoa! So when I saw my engagement ring for the first time in good clear lighting, I was taken aback because I can't believe how amazing of a job he did at designing a ring that I feel like really suits me. I don't really know how he designed this perfectly because I hear a lot of people saying that they make like a Pinterest board and they'll have all of their thoughts in order and then they'll send it to their boyfriend of like exactly what they want. And that was something that I had never done because, you guys know me, I didn't have my thoughts in order, and I also didn't know how close the engagement was. And a piece of me has always kind of wanted to see what my boyfriend would come up with for a ring for me. Like, what do you think suits me? And this is what he came up with, and I'm obsessed with it. When I show people this ring, they're like, oh, it's so unique and it's so you. And that is such a compliment for me because this is such a beautiful piece of jewelry. For someone to say that this ring reminds them of me makes me feel really good about myself because I love this ring. So in tune, I feel complimented by proxy. Okay, but so obviously I love the design, I love the look, it's beautiful, but when he explained the significance of this ring, I mean, obviously an engagement ring is a promise to spend your life with someone, which is significant enough, but I'll get into a little bit. Some of the diamonds have like sentimental meaning. I am a very sentimental person. I'm one of those people, like, if we go to a movie together, I'm going to keep the movie ticket because it was such a great and fun experience that I want to keep this real object to remember the memory. So he really knew to put sentimental things in this ring would just be the extra tick. So I'll put a close-up of the ring on screen so I can kind of reference parts of it, but the main center diamond, this is a long story. Sorry if this video is really long. I'm just really chatty. So this diamond I first saw when I was about, oh my gosh, how old would I have been? 12 years old. So my dad bought my mom a ring for their wedding anniversary, and it was a gold and silver band with 3 Canadian diamonds. And a Canadian diamond basically means it was mined in Canada. And when I saw this ring, I was obviously a young girl, and I remember seeing it and thinking it was the most beautiful, sparkliest, gorgeous ring I've ever seen in my whole life. And I just remember seeing it on my mom's hand and thinking it was so stunning. And I was just like, wow, Dad, what a beautiful ring. Like, what a huge gift to give Mom. And that ring was also very special because the 3 diamonds actually symbolized my mom's 3 children, because there are 3 kids in my family. I'm sure you guys can probably tell where this is going, because that was the first time I ever saw this diamond. But how we got it to here is a funny story. So my mom would wear this ring, obviously, and one day she actually unfortunately lost it. And it was lost for quite a while, like a couple weeks. And then we were walking on the driveway and we look down and we see this piece of metal, and it's so bent up and it's so broken, like it hardly resembles a ring, but it's a piece of metal that caught my mom's attention. And she picks it up and she was like, does this look like my ring that I lost? And I literally said, no, there's no way that's your ring. That is an ugly piece of metal. There's no way that was your ring. Which is so funny because it was her ring. So she had lost the ring. It had gotten driven over by a car who knows how many times. Weeks later, we found it all broken. The diamonds were gone and the band was ruined. And we ended up being able to figure out it was the same ring because it had, obviously, rings have markings on them, like they're being engraved in them. So we were able to figure out it was her ring. So then my mom was like, if the band is here, maybe the diamonds are here. Now this driveway was not paved, it was like gravel, so those really small little rocks. So try finding little itty bitty diamonds from weeks ago in gravel. Well, that's what my mom did. Every night for about 4 days, when it got dark, my mom would go out with a flashlight and she would walk around the driveway shining. And basically what she was trying to do is if there was a diamond amongst the gravel, it would shine back with the light of the flashlight. So also, if you've ever lost a diamond or a jewel or anything, you could try that technique and it'll make it easier to find it. But anyway, still a very difficult thing to find. So she was looking with her flashlight. I joined her for a little bit, but I was not nearly as dedicated as she was. And she runs inside. She found a diamond and she's pretty sure it's the one from the ring. Hold on a second. I feel like I'm like being such a dramatic storyteller right now. She continued to do that for the next couple days, and she found another diamond. And then after taking them in to the jeweler, we were able to deduct that those were in fact the diamonds from the ring that she had gotten so long ago and then lost, and then it was driven over by a car, diamonds flew out. Weeks later, she found the diamonds, and now that is my center diamond in my wedding ring, or my engagement ring, whatever. Not only does the story of losing it and it getting broken and everything add to it and make it kind of funny, but it's also so cute because that was a ring that really caught my attention as a kid, and it was like, I thought it was so beautiful, and I thought this piece of jewelry was just gorgeous. And now to be able to have that diamond on my own ring, I feel very lucky about it, and I'm flattered that my mom gave that to my fiance to put into my ring when he was designing it. So yeah, the center diamond is a very special diamond to me because it signifies a lot, and it also makes me remember a very fun story. And it's one of those full circle moments. Like if you were to tell young Mia when she saw this ring that it would eventually be in her engagement ring, I would have been so excited and so flattered and so happy to have such a gorgeous diamond in my ring. Okay, so that's the main center one. But then as you may be able to see, there's little circle ones. There's 6 circles around the outside, and those are also very special and sentimental diamonds to me. And I did ask my fiance if I could share this story to you guys, and he said it was okay. So my fiance's dad was actually a jeweler. Like he made jewelry, he had his own shop, and that was what he did as his profession. And sadly, when my fiance was around 8 years old, his dad actually ended up passing away. And when that happened, obviously the store no longer had a jeweler, so they had to kind of just sell the stock that was in the store and close it down. And I guess during that time, their garage was sort of like the place where they were organizing the jewelry and figuring out where they were going to sell it or who they were going to give it to. And as a little boy, my fiance took a ring without anybody noticing and without telling anyone, and he managed to keep it safe from when he was 8 till now, when he's 25. And those little circle diamonds are from that ring. And so to have this piece and memory from his dad built into my engagement ring is so special. I can't put it into words. I feel literally so lucky to be able to have those pieces in here. But yeah, so those are the circles. And then beside there are marquees, which I like to say they're like a leaf shape. And there are 6 of them there. And those are brand new diamonds that he got put in here. So basically what he said was there's something from my family, something from his family, and something from the family we're creating together. So I thought it wouldn't be possible to love this ring more than when I first saw it, but after I heard all of that, I loved it more than I even could imagine. Like, it now symbolizes a lifelong commitment, and also all of these beautiful memories and things from people in our lives that were important. So this is a question that I'm sure a lot of you guys are curious about, and that is, how long have I known my fiance? And that is a good question because I only just shared this relationship to you guys like 5 months ago, but in that video I did mention that it has been going on for far longer than that. I don't know exactly how long we've been together because the segue from friends to dating is a little blurry, but I would say just under 3 years. Now that may be the length of how long we've been together, but how long we've known each other goes way further back, and again, it's kind of a fun story. I don't know if all these stories are just fun to me, but I'll tell you. You can just skip through if you don't think it's fun. So this is something that I actually didn't even know until we started dating, but my dad actually taught him t-ball when he was 9 years old. So our paths would have crossed when he was 9 and I was 6, because I used to watch my brother's t-ball game because he was on the same team as Eli, and Tate actually was on the team as well, and my dad was the coach. So I would have been there watching, not even realizing that I was watching my 9-year-old fiance, well, not my fiance at the time, but you know what I mean, playing t-ball. Like, the world is crazy. The world is weird. weird things happen here. So this is the part that's gonna make me seem like maybe a crazy person, but I have to tell you. So the elementary school I went to was grade 1 to 8, and then when you were done at that school, you had like a little grade 8 grad, and then you moved to like the high school. I don't know how it is everywhere in the world, maybe it's the same, but you then moved to like grade 9 to grade 12 in a new school. So when I was in grade 9, there was like a bunch of new faces because it was a bunch of different schools coming together to the high school. I don't even know why I'm saying this or how to say this, but basically me and my good friend Rachel, when we got to the high school, so we were in grade 9, we sort of noticed a few cute boys. One that I in particular noticed, who may or may not now be my fiance, but at the time was just a unreachable crush. And me and Rachel may have sat, I don't know, like, lol, sat in some chairs near his locker trying to get him to talk to us. You know, who could say? Not my finest moment, but now that it's worked out, it's kind of hilarious to look back on. Okay, anyways, I'm getting so off topic, but when did we actually legitimately meet if I'm not talking about seeing him at baseball when he was 9 and I was 6? And if I'm not talking about having a slight obsession with him when I was in grade 9? When did we really meet? So my brother and him were actually good friends. They were in the same grade, and my brother Eli was moving away for work. This was a long time ago, like he's back now, but at the time he was moving for work. He worked for like a year and then came back. Nonetheless, he was having a little going away party. And so a lot of his friends were there, and of course I was there because I don't really do anything and I was just at the house. And everyone was outside, and then I was looking out the window and I may or may not have noticed my now fiance was there, so I then went outside to chat him up. And it went smashingly well. Nothing romantical or anything like that, obviously. We got along super well. The conversation was easy, which was nice. Did I say romantical? So I would say that was the moment when we legitimately met. Even though our lives had intertwined in the past, that was like the first face-to-face we're chatting for more than just hi and then after that night there wasn't too much talking, definitely not a lot of constant, maybe just back and forth once in a while as friends, because some of our friend groups were a little bit intertwined through my brother, but I actually dated someone else for like a big chunk in the middle, so we definitely weren't anything romantic by any means because I was dating someone else. We reconvened again because he had a university volleyball team and he was basically trying to get a big group of people together to join the rec league, and he actually didn't invite me. He invited my brother Tate at a party that they had both went to that I wasn't at, and then Tate came home and he was talking about how he was joining this volleyball team and it sounded so much fun, and I was like, of course, as the little sister, I was like, can you invite me? And sure enough, I was on the team. It actually worked out well because I actually play volleyball, or at least I used to play high school volleyball, so I knew a thing or two about the volley, and the rest was kind of history. I mean, I didn't start dating him immediately when I started the volleyball team, like there was quite a few months. I don't remember the layouts exactly, but we're engaged now, so I guess it all worked out. So that's the long answer of how long I've known him. I just threw in like 8 stories. And the last question I wrote down is, will I be sharing my fiance online? Now this is something that has been kind of complicated for us just because, like I said in the beginning, he isn't on social media, whereas I obviously am quite a bit. And what makes it complicated is that we're together a lot. Like for certain instances, I'll be vlogging and he'll just be off camera, or if he pops in a little bit, I'll blur him for his own privacy. And I think that that has worked okay for us, but I know on like vacations and things of that sort, I'll want to vlog it, and like it's also very fun to look back on videos and watch them, so I would personally like him in them for that reason. Based on some of the conversations him and I have had about this topic, and especially after the reaction you guys gave to the video where I introduced that I have a boyfriend, you guys were so understanding and so respectful to his privacy. I think honestly it made him feel a lot more comfortable eventually being in a video. So I just think if you guys continue to be patient, we can expect to see him in a video. I think he's warming up to the idea. I'm not gonna pressure him, but I think he would have a lot of fun. I think you guys would have a lot of fun meeting him. I think you guys would get along great. Either way, whether he's in videos or not, I will definitely be sharing a lot of the wedding planning process, like the shopping for a dress, decorating of the wedding, maybe even some venue shopping. I'm super excited for it, to take you guys along with me and also to document it so I can look back on it. It's just really exciting. Now, one thing obviously that I did want to touch on is I know there are a lot of opinions when it comes to getting married and also just getting married young in general. There's a lot of opinionated people about it, and I'm 22 and he's 25, so not the youngest people to get married, but definitely still young. And I was trying to think of ways that I could convince people of how I'm worthy of getting married now, and to make it clear how seriously I take the sanctity of marriage. But I kind of landed on there's really no way for me to prove that to anyone other than showing someone, and you can't show somebody that your relationship is gonna work out and that your marriage is gonna last. There's no way I can prove that in 5 minutes to you. The only way that I can do that is by having a long, fruitful marriage. So let's chat in 40 years and then you can tell me you told me so, or I will have proved that my relationship is worth it. So yeah, I'm confident, I'm committed. I feel amazing when I'm with my fiance. He has shown me a level of kindness that I've really never experienced from someone who isn't my family, to treat me with so much respect and care. It's amazing, and I feel honored to be able to have the opportunity to have that for my whole life, and I'm super excited about it. And I also feel very excited to have shared this big announcement with you guys. You guys are so important to me, and I feel really good to have us all on the same page. Like, no confusion. But yeah, I guess that's it. I talked for 2 hours straight. But yeah, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. You all are amazing. I'm gonna put the charity for this week's video right here, just because I don't have my little jar down here. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!